If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Yes, here we go. Follow the Money. Paulie Howard, Palm Readers Unite. Mike Palm in for Mitch Moss the next 2 days. Big program coming up. Mike called it with one series in the NHL. We'll go rapid fire with what happened over the weekend and the two games tonight on ice. We'll talk to new VSiN insider NBA props Dan Carpuck at 2:30 Pacific. Jonathan Davis. We're going to go at him today. We're going to have some fun. He's with Lou Finicaro camp here with Washington. I don't know what he's watching. We love JD. More action than a Rambo movie. Ton of props up on the site. And we'll preview the two games with JD as well. NBA playoffs. Big news, what's going to happen before the Knicks game, real or fugazi, good MLB card. Lot to get to, win, lose. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Great. My thought over the weekend is we're marching towards your exact in the NHL.
I know.
It could be.
Yeah.
What's going to get in the way?
I had to take 14-1 over the weekend as well, too. I just feel like it's going to happen.
You took the reverse?
No, I haven't done the reverse.
Oh, okay.
I still got Carolina over Dallas.
Just Carolina over Dallas.
Yeah, and it's okay. What can you compare this to? Hellebuck in the playoffs on the road.
Maybe Kershaw.
I like it.
Maybe Kershaw. He's winning Cy Youngs, the pitcher of our generation. Couldn't win anything in the playoffs. It wasn't necessarily home road like this guy is, but he couldn't hold a lead. He couldn't get anything done for the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hellebuck on the road is incredible.
Yes.
He finished the game, though, so minor upset there.
No
hook. No hook.
For the first time in 5 games. He fools you with the shutout on Friday, which Mitch actually predicted if you want to go contrarian, but 7-1 wasn't enough. And then he comes back, and it's 2-2 in the third. Then the controversial goal, they add 2 more. And again, no problem with the team total going over. Best goalie in the regular season, going to win the Vezina. Best goalie in the sport. Worst goalie in the playoffs so far. In his last 9 road playoff games, 1-8 with a 5.20 goals against, pulled in 4 of the last 5. This year, 0-4 with a 6.65 goals against.
And that 9 games you talk about, he's given up at least 4 in every game. At least 4. You just have to fade him on the road.
Yep.
That's all you can do. And when a team can steal a game, which St. Louis never did, can steal a game in Winnipeg like Dallas did in Game 1, a closely contested game, really an evenly played game, you have to give them the advantage on the series. Because when is he going to win a road game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this year.
Right. I can come back now. It's $1.40 tomorrow. And then the series price seems low as well.
It's very strange. So they're only $1.40 at home, and they were the favorites for the series. It's too cheap.
Yeah, good point. I'm with you on that one. And again, the team total heavily juiced, -2.5, but you don't pay the juice when you win, and that continues to cash against Hellebuck on the road, no problem. And just like VGK, first period over, 8-1 now. And the watch party is tonight. Good timing. You got the big win Saturday. Coincided with the news. Pickard was out. You get Skinner in goal. Riley Smith scores with less than a second left. For the time being, they saved their season. Edmonton blows a 2-0 lead. And then tonight, here, come on down, Stadium Swim. Good time at Circa. What do you think now? Skinner inning, and looks like Stone's gonna play for VGK.
Yeah, well, at least we're going to have a crowd tonight. If it would have went 3-0, they're down 2-0 early, Paul.
Yep.
I said, oh boy, you can drive golf balls out at Stadium Swim on Monday for this watch party. Is everybody coming to avoid the sweep? Now they're back in this series.
I know.
And you feel you got a shot with Skinner. They played much better, obviously. I don't disagree with Cassie that they weren't the worst team in Game 2, but it sure looked like they were going down 3-0. Let's give some credit to William Karlsson, who skated that puck end to end. He picks up the puck with 12 seconds left, Paul, in his own defensive zone and is able to get it all the way down the ice. Riley throws it on net, and the sauerkraut, Leon Draisaitl, stick right there to tap it in. 0.4 to go. Referee's looking right at it, called it no goal.
Where was Skinner going?
No goal.
What was he
doing? Why would you get faked out, like come 30 feet out of your net there with no time left?
Yeah. I don't understand what he was
doing. He's clear one-on-one with you with no time left to go. Just stay out there in the crease.
Oh, that was terrible. All the way around. To blow the lead and then to give up that goal right before the end. So Adjusted series price, Edmonton minus 260. Again, VGK 8-1 of the over in the playoffs in the first period. It's like $1.70 tonight. I think that's a winner. What do you think? Is a road team going to win again, or is Edmonton going to get them?
I think this is going to be a close game tonight. I don't know who's going to win. Can VGK play this well again for a third consecutive game? You need more. I mean, you got nothing really out of the Oilers after the first. Again, it was a microcosm of VGK in game one, the absolute reverse, where they got the 2 goals early and then got outplayed the rest of the game. Then that's what happened to Edmonton at home again. But it'd be hard to believe four road games in a row, although they're all independent results. I didn't play the game tonight, Paul. I don't disagree with you on these first period overs, though.
Yep. Okay, so what's everyone else watching here with the Washington love? And they saved their season for the time being in game 2. But now Carolina is minus 290 at DraftKings, minus 170, 180 to win in regulation. Total domination in game 3. We're coming right back with Anderson under 21.5 saves. There hasn't been a goal scored in the first period of the whole series.
This is the only series of the whole playoffs you can comfortably bet the first period's over.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about both rounds.
Well, yeah. This under here, over BGK. So we can't get a first period goal here. But now, shots for the series, 89-56. Attempts, 256 to 133. Thompson was solid, but not good enough. Anderson gets the shutout, as I've said from the get-go. And Ovechkin's done nothing in this series. How is Washington going to generate any offense and do it? They have 3 goals, if you take out the Wilson empty net. They have 3 goals in the entire series.
I think, so let's look at game 3. I thought Carberry made some adjustments, and they played pretty well in the first period. I thought the Caps played them evenly in Raleigh in the first period. And then Brind'Amour makes his adjustments. What's Carberry going to do? You're 100% right. They have taken Ovechkin completely out of it. Power play and 5-on-5 here.
Yep.
So now this is going to be the coach of the year, Paul. Spencer Carberry, what are you going to do now? You've got to make the adjustments because I don't think you can win this straight up playing the way you are. I thought in game 2, which I lost, I don't know if you bet it or not, that the perfect got in the way of the good. In the first period, Carolina was trying to find the perfect shot. Instead of 94 attempts in game 1, here they were in game 2 trying to find the perfect shot instead of just throwing pucks on net, which they needed to do. And then they fell behind 1-0, and they couldn't overcome that. Although I don't know if anybody going to overcome a lead in this series. First goal might win every game.
True, yeah. And I thought game 2 was kind of a fluke because you had the turnover, which led to the breakaway. Then you had the beautiful goal on the power play, the only power play goal that Carolina's given up, and then just couldn't solve Thompson, who was great. But as I said, Thompson can steal a game. Can he steal more than one in a series? Highly unlikely. Adjusted series price, Carolina minus 550. And you said this too. Whoop-de-doo. Toronto won the first 2 at home. Florida now 190 to win the series and $1.40 to win Game 5 in Toronto on Wednesday. They blew a golden opportunity Friday. They led 2-0 and 3-1. I couldn't depend on Wall. They couldn't win the game, and Marchand scores in overtime. Great job by the viewer who had 100-1. I saw the ticket. And then you shut him down, and I can't get 2 goals out of you or even 1.
Wall was great yesterday.
I know. He was
phenomenal.
If they flipped it, it'd be 3-1.
Yeah.
But he was great. And then it's 1-0 late till they had the final goal, and now it's series tied up as 2 as you predicted. And you said you had to take the plus money.
Well, now I come back with Toronto here. I'm done with the series. I took plus 180, and now I take plus 160, and it's all over. I don't have to worry about Florida stealing a game on the road.
Okay. And we still don't know what Stolarz doesn't look good, they said. So we're stuck with Wall. But it was right there for him on Friday night to be up 2-0 right away.
They had to bury the champs.
And up 3-1 as well. So what do you mentioned at the top of the show. What do you think now?
Well, it's a 2 out of 3 race with 2 games in Toronto, so you still have to lean Toronto. So that's what this series is all overreaction. But you knew this was going to happen. They would go right back to the same price that they were before the series if they won on home ice in Florida, and that's what happened. So that's why you had to, from a betting perspective, take the 180 after game 2.
Dallas, the favorites. Carolina right behind them for odds to win it all. And it seems like it's going to go that way. And then to win the conference, Carolina plus 145, Dallas plus 140. And I see Carolina winning tonight easy, and I see Dallas taking out Winnipeg easy.
What's Rantanen now to be Conn Smythe here?
Well, with that big move, what happened? You missed the move from 33 to 1 to.
Yeah, but I mean now I wouldn't.
He's plus 450.
And Dallas is higher than that.
Uh-huh.
But why would you bet it now? I mean, now it's ridiculous. But.
Right. Anderson 8 to 1. Can they win all these games 3-1?
I guess he's still alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
To Junkyard Dog's point, he's still alive.
Yeah. Thompson, he can't get there. Now he's down. Well, he's still 45 to 1.
Yeah, but that's based on Washington winning it. I mean, if Washington wins it, it's going to be him.
That's much better than the 19 to 1 or 17 to 1 to come back and win it. Yeah, that's the way to go. NBA coming up next. We'll go rapid fire and some big news tonight. Smarter Bets start here. Last all year long with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of the annual subscription. Normally $240, now just $199. When you sign up today, we get 2 months for free. So 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Promo code PRO. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, DK and Circa, the 24/7 live video, and the special edition betting guides. VSiN.com/subscribe now. Promo code PRO. Lock in 14 months for just $199, VSiN.com/subscribe. What'd you think of the Michael Jordan news?
I'm interested to see how they use him.
Unbelievable if he's like a studio guy.
He has to be, right? Is he going to be
calling
games?
I would hope so. No.
He's not going to. That's time commitment.
Yeah, special contributor is kind of an interesting title. But if you get him on a regular basis or once in a while on the studio, I think that's gold. If he's going to be himself and be honest. You saw what he did on The Last Dance. He just took everyone apart and ripped after Scottie Pippen, for God's sakes, what he did. 2 games tonight. The fun starts before the Knicks game. This guy can't miss. Everyone wants him. They can change what happens tonight with the future of several organizations. I'll give you the odds and explain coming up next on Follow the Money, live from Circa, downtown Las Vegas, circalasvegas.com and Sirius XM Channel 158.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time to talk some football. We know who's going to start the season on Thursday. More on that coming up, and we'll run it by our next guest, Mike Detillier, WWL in New Orleans, college and pro football analyst. He's on the Progressive guest line, and he joins us now to talk about the big news over the weekend. Appreciate the time, my friend. How surprised were you with the news that Carr retires?
I was surprised he retired. I know the last time we had talked, I brought up the fact I didn't think Derek Carr would ever take a snap under center again for the Saints, for one way or another. But the other was not retirement, to be honest with you. I didn't think he would walk, and whatever deal was cut with the Saints and Carr, it was a peculiar offseason for Carr from a standpoint of, he moves his family back to California. He never met with Kellen Moore.
Ooh.
Okay, you're the face of the franchise as the potential starter, the probable starter. You never met with the new head coach. When they had the Super Bowl here, he was not around. Spencer Rattler made the rounds, but he didn't. He was nowhere to be seen. And then all of a sudden, the shoulder injury pops up on a Friday afternoon when Ian Rappaport first broke the story.
Yeah.
And it's just a peculiar situation all the way around. And I will say this, doing this 40 years, he has been the most polarizing player that has ever wore the black and gold. And it goes to show you, when you follow in the footsteps of the soon-to-be Pro Football Hall of Famer, in the biggest and most important position on the field, you're going to catch some heat. And he caught it here. Doing the show Saturday, I would say 95% of our callers and texters, they were thrilled that he was not going to be part of this organization. And to be honest with you, in dealing with him, he was a good dude. He really was. But, man, he got put in a really tough situation. And for Saints fans, he could not win that big game when they had to. He had a 14-13 record here.
Mm-hmm.
But in big games against top opponents, he could not cut the mustard and win you big late.
Well said. That's a great answer. Can you explain how he did the organization a solid on the way out?
Well, because had he decided to have surgery and miss the season, Saints would have owed him $40 million. Instead, he took $10 million, which was part of the agreement when they restructured the deal. And by retiring, that $30 million is not going his way. Now, the Saints still have a dead money cap hit in 2026 because they went to the bank of Carr last year and this year to play in free agency of $35.5 million. But it would have been over 50 had he stayed. So the way I look at it, listen, it was about as good an ending as you could possibly imagine if you're the Saints. It really turned out in the favor of you when they picked Tyler Shuck with the 40th overall pick, early second-round pick. Said at the time, he's your starter, game one. And now he is a big-time favorite. Unless an injury comes involved, Tyler Shuck's going to be the starter for the Saints in a rebuilding football team, and a team that also is getting older on the defensive side of football. When you look at stalwarts like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu.
Mike, the Saints draft used the 9th pick to take Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle out of Texas. Do you think that he will play left tackle this year, or might the Saints use him at guard in order to put the best 5 players on the offensive line?
He's played left tackle all his life. I'm not a big advocate of moving people around. So for me, he'd play left tackle, and then I'd take Taliase Fuaga, who played right tackle his entire career from high school to college. Now, last year, I thought he did a pretty good job overall for never playing left tackle. And it's difficult being moved from right to left tackle. I'd put him back at the right tackle position. You got a big-time player in Eric McCoy at center. Cesar Ruiz is solid at the right guard position. And I figure out what I got to do at left guard. But I don't like moving all this around. And I would much rather see a veteran at the left guard position to have you someone that, could kind of help in difficult situations with a rookie left tackle. Again, they've used early round picks all across the board. The biggest thing that happened there, Ryan Ramczyk retires early due to a knee injury. And then Trevor Penning does not pan out anything close to the type player when you picked him with a first-round pick. So you're still retooling an offensive line here. But I would put Kelvin Banks at left tackle.
Oh, you mentioned it's Shuck's team. What do you think about Offensive Rookie of the Year? And what are your expectations?
He doesn't have a great supporting cast, put it to you this way. So I wouldn't put a nickel on him being the Offensive Rookie of the Year at that spot. But I think we have seen this, and it is rare in the NFL. But I think everybody sort of believes this happens every year. 2 years ago, C.J. Stroud comes in as a rookie, plays like a veteran, does a great job, and brings the Texans into the playoffs. Last year, Jaden Daniels was in my backyard playing at LSU, goes to the Commanders. Hey, I got it. I got this, guys. And what he was able to do. I don't think that that's the norm in the NFL. And so I look at it another way. For me, if I had money to bet on it and I was going in that direction, I would go with Ashton Genty. I know how Pete Carroll runs that offense. I know what they want to do, and that's where I would put my money on Genty.
Phenomenal spot as always. Great to talk to you. Great insight from the listeners and how they felt about him. And thanks for a few minutes, sir. Enjoy the off season.
Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike.
Mike Detillier, Sports Saints Report.com host of WWL. That is strong. And I think Raider fans felt the same way. This guy's a lot like Cousins. He made a ton of money, and then how many big games did he win? He went to one playoff game. Now, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year, and they had
Raiders could have won that game.
Could have won, should have won, right?
Got a couple bad whistles.
They did. Remember the whistle blew off the touchdown was being
Blew
thrown?
in
I'm
the
sitting
middle of
right
the
next to
play.
you.
Inadvertent whistle counts.
But this guy
Touchdown.
made a ton of money. Mike also said something interesting off air that the story isn't over. Isn't this weird? I leave $30 million on the table and I'm going to retire? I'll do you the solid. But number one, you've heard how the fans felt about him. And now the 1 year in 2016, they were going to be the 1 seed, or at least they're going to be the 1 or the 2, maybe the 1. And then he got hurt. And then they had they played Connor Cook, I think, in the playoff loss against, I think Brock Osweiler beat him. But they didn't have a chance. But that's other than that, that's it. 2021, you lose to the Bengals. This guy played a long time.
A long time.
And he also was infuriating to watch. Hold the ball, ball.
How about throwing the ball away on fourth down?
Numerous
how about throwing
times.
it out of bounds on fourth down?
Times. I can't tell you how many times he did that.
Fourth
He
down.
would throw it away on fourth down. And he was Charlie Checkdown a lot, too. You know, a lot of people might remember him for the Survivor when the Raiders went to Pittsburgh. And all you needed was one first down.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he comes back. Who knows? But with that injury and doing him a solid and $30 million. Strange career. Weird trip. But never won a playoff game and made a ton of cash. But certainly polarizing on and off the field. I know he said his first line was, after a lot of prayer, we decided to call it quits. And then give him back $30 million. Wild. Also, they tried to get Dart, but the Giants beat them to it. So they thought no value at 9.
They knew he
coming
was
back
gone.
in.
They
but
knew he
that's,
was gone.
Yeah, but coming back in maybe in the first round that they could grab. Yeah, that's certainly how it played out. It was weird. The guy wasn't coming around. You don't talk to your coach. You don't even meet with the guy. That is weird. But that was also strong too, because I got plenty of texts when the news came down. Let's get this guy. And then Mike says I wouldn't put a dime on it. Put a nickel for Offensive Rookie of the Year in the supporting cast, and they have a lot of
couldn't believe
issues.
he got picked. He got drafted where he did, and now he's the third choice for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
know.
Only because he's going to get all the snaps,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that combine footage, I can't get past it. And the age. He's going to be 26 years old, right? Incredible. Win-lose coming up next. As always, some big tickets cashed. How about a viewer who had a 100-to-1 shot in the NHL? And, oh, boy, you won't believe what happened in the Premier League. All that coming up with some great videos. Follow the money. Sirius XM Channel 158. Paulie Howard, Mike Palm, live downtown Las Vegas. Circa Hotel and Casino, circalasvegas.com.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Major props to you. Rapid fire with all the props coming up in 10 minutes. All right. For the first time on Follow the Money, we talked to our new member of the staff, Dan Karpuk, to talk about the NBA playoffs and a lot of props right now. Game 4 tonight, huge. Celtics laying 6.5 on the road against the Knicks, and he joins us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Thanks for the time, my friend. Good to meet you. Let's start with Tatum, how you want to attack this and how the Knicks have done a good job on Tatum in the series so far.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm thrilled to be here. And I'm going to go with Tatum under 27.5 points. This is minus 115. I got this at here. He's gone 0 for 3 versus this number in the series here. Game 1, 23 points on a very inefficient 7 of 23 shooting. Game 2, 13 points on 5 of 19 shooting. Game 3, 22 points on 8 of 20 shooting. He's playing 40-plus minutes in each game, so this isn't about a lack of opportunity. It's about who is defending him. So I did some digging here through NBA.com numbers. OG Anunoby has absolutely bottled him up this series. Now, they've matched up on 119 partial possessions where Anunoby's been defending him in this series. Tatum, in those possessions, has gone just 2 for 10 shooting, with 3 turnovers, 6 total points in 24 minutes and 53 seconds of matchup time. Translation, Anunoby knows exactly what he is doing out there. He is taking away Tatum in isolation, and this is exactly what the Knicks acquired him for. Tatum is contributing elsewhere. I don't mind going to his rebounds or assists, but the Knicks are really making him work to fill up those points. And unless Boston drastically changes things offensively, which I don't expect to happen here, I'm going to go with Tatum under his points once again for the 4th straight game here.
Great breakdown. That's awesome. Can't believe those stats. How about OG's prop? And the Knicks have struggled as Boston's held them to 95 a game in the series in regulation. They've bottled up Brunson. What do you think about OG's prop?
Yeah, another crazy thing I saw here. He's gone under 14.5 points in 27 of 28 career games against the Celtics now. So this isn't just a cold streak. It's a clear matchup trend here that I really want to key in on. And it's correlated with that Tatum play as well. He is spending all of his energy really trying to slow down Boston's top defenders, whether it's Tatum, whether it's Jaylen Brown. And he's expending a lot of energy on that end of the court. The one time that he went over that number was in game 1 of the series, 29 points, but he took 20 shots. And he really got hot in the second quarter. 20 of those points came in the second half, and so I don't really see that being a predictable factor here going into game 4. In games 2 and 3 combined, he had 7 total points on 15 total shot attempts. So it's going to be low volume shooting, probably once again for Mr. Anunoby. And it's correlated with that Tatum play. I don't mind even playing them as a 2-leg SGP there as well.
Okay. This is strange. We never see this again. Sports books didn't know what to do. I mean, how you think the series will play out. Before game 3, in some spots, the Knicks were favored to win the series, yet the Celtics were favored to win the Eastern Conference. And now, down 2 games to 1, the Celtics are as high as $1.40 to win the Eastern Conference.
It's absolutely unbelievable. I would hate to be odds makers when it comes to these playoffs. Everything's just so unpredictable day to day. But I think there is one more predictable angle here from a player prop perspective, which is Karl Anthony Towns over rebounds. I've been hammering this all series here. I got a little worried in game 1, but he still went over. He was at 10.5 rebounds in game 1 and 2. Now he's at 11.5, but I don't care whatsoever. Game 1, 13 rebounds on 21 rebounding chances. And if you remember, he had a ton of foul trouble early in that game too. Game 2, 17 rebounds on 26 chances. Game 3, 15 rebounds on 21 chances. The Knicks really need him to dominate the glass here. You can't give a team like Boston those extra looks, those second chance opportunities. As we know, they're going to launch 3-pointers. We're going to see lots of clanks off the rim, even though, if they make 30-40%, they still can obviously win the game, and they've shown the ability to do that. But they really need Towns to show up on the glass. So if he plays 35-40 minutes, which is probably going to happen here in a close game once again, he's cleared this number 3 straight times, and he's gotten all those chances, 21 plus chances on the boards in all 3 games so far.
Daniel Karpuck joins us on the Progressive Line, new with VSiN. Read his stuff up at VSiN.com with all his player props, and it's Follow the Money. Paulie Howard, Mike Palm. So you were listening before you came on. Indiana's up 40 in a game Cleveland had to have. They're 41-16 since January 1st. They play so damn fast, and they have so many scores that I don't think people are sleeping on this team, but people weren't aware of the record since January 1st. As high as 15-1, I saw, to win the title. With what you see with OKC, the lack of big game experience, Dort's on the bench in crunch time. They couldn't count on a lot of guys to score and make shots, and Williams was atrocious in the win on the road. What do you think of the Pacers to win it all?
I think it's the biggest value on the board, to be honest, right now. You think of a team like last year's Celtics team, like this year's Celtics team. A lot of people point to the fact that they have the luxury of bringing Pritchard off the bench. They could beat you in so many ways. Well, think about this Pacers team. They could beat you in so many ways as well. You look at TJ McConnell yesterday. I think he had 13 points, 8 rebounds off the bench. He's a guy that Rick Carlisle really trusts to come in and run that second team offense. And he's shown the ability to really take over games at times where Halliburton's the one on the bench. You saw Andrew Nembhard, who is a guy that really crushed it the first couple games of this series, and he's really taken a step forward during these playoffs with some extra minutes. You guys, Benedict Mathurin off the bench, even though he got ejected last game there, he's a guy that could come in and score you 30 points. Obi Toppin, there's just so many ways that Rick Carlisle could match up against his opponents here. You can go big with Miles Turner. You could sub him out for Obi Toppin. You could go just do a whole bunch of different things, go wing heavy. That's a team that I like a team like that is one that I like to put my money behind.
I'm with you on that one, and I got 19-1 to win the East. How about the late game? Ooh. Interesting prop here. How you want to attack this with Gobert?
Yeah, so plus 340 over at DraftKings for 5+ alternate first quarter rebounds. So I've done this with 4+ alternate first quarter rebounds 3 games in a row and won each of those. So I'm going to go with 5 here because guess what? I would have won if I did it with 5+ in each of those first games here. So Rudy Gobert in the first quarter during the series, game 1, 5 first quarter rebounds. Game 2, 5 first quarter rebounds. Game 3, 7 first quarter rebounds in 8, 9, and 10 minutes. So whether or not he closes the game, I don't even want to get into that because if the Warriors go small, which they might do in this game, they might go Draymond heavy, they might go Kuminga heavy and just not even play any of those bigs that they have and just try to run the Timberwolves off the floor. I want to go to Gobert early here and not even worry about his full game prop. So he's going to get those first quarter minutes. The Warriors don't have any true size to match up with him. So whether it's Trace Jackson Davis getting the start again, whether it's Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, no one could really contest his size and length inside here. And the Minnesota really uses Gobert to anchor those opening minutes here. He's averaging 11 rebounds on 21 rebounding chances per game this series. But like I said, early, and plus 340 is, I think, amazing value on something that's hit 3 times in a row.
Daniel, I try to listen to Chris Finch because he's very candid in his radio interviews, and he talked about yesterday defending the threes and getting the long rebounds and getting out and running. Is there any way to convert that into maybe an assist prop on one of their wing players?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch that from Finch, but I think that's definitely an angle there. I think, if I was Chris Finch in the Timberwolves, I mean, would I really try to make this anything but a slugfest? I'm not sure about that, just because I don't think the Warriors are going to be able to really match up with them and get things done if that's the case. But, maybe we're looking at a low assist total on a guy like McDaniels. If there's long rebounds and he's catching a rebound out towards the arc somewhere, they really try to push the pace. I'm down for that as well. So I definitely have to look more into that, but I think that's an interesting angle to attack for sure.
1.5 is assist prop.
Good. Great job. Good info. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck. Welcome to the team.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Smarter bets start here and all season long with VSiN Pro. For limited time, we're slashing the price of our annual subscription, normally $240, now just $199. And when you sign up, 2 extra months for free. It's 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Use promo code PRO. 14 months, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, 24/7 live video, the special edition betting guides, vsin.com/subscribe, code PRO. Get 14 months for just $199, vsin.com/subscribe. All the props we like coming up. MLB, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and some breaking news in the NFL. Coming up on Follow the Money. Sirius XM Channel 158, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, downtown Las Vegas from Circa.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Ready to rock and roll. NHL playoffs, doubleheader tonight. Jonathan Davis, our guy. Read him every day, vsin.com. All the picks, follow him on X. He tweets in-play plays as well, does an excellent job. And he joins us now on the progressive guest line at West Coast Hockey on X. I'm reading from vsin.com your article today. Here's where some of you are going to say, JD, you're nuts. I call this a Josh Applebaum hazmat play. Oh, man. It's like Mike said to Lou last week. Are you watching the same thing we're watching? You're going to state your case for Washington tonight. 3 goals in the entire series. Take it away. You have the floor. Go get them.
All right. So, look, the Caps are 6-1 as a road dog this year following a loss. Last time I checked, they're still only won one less game than Carolina. I know it hasn't looked pretty. And you mentioned the numbers earlier in the show, shots on goal, shot attempts.
Yep.
I get it. But at this price, this is more about just a price play. You should not be a 270 favorite in the Stanley Cup playoffs in round number 2, especially against the number 1 seed. So for me, like, strictly on a price play. Now, I like what you did, Paulie. I also did say, if you want to play Carolina tonight, then you play the Caps team total under 2.5. You can also get aggressive at under 1.5. Uh-huh. But no way am I laying that kind of price on Carolina to win the game.
Minus 165 in regulation as well. So, where's the offense coming from? How is Washington going to generate anything? Ovechkin's been on a milk carton. How are they going to be able to do something? Anderson off the shutout, and you reference it too. So, and thank you for the numbers. I'll give them again. Shots are 89-56. Shot attempts are 256 to 133. So it's got to be Thompson standing on his head again.
Yeah, it does. But, look, the other trend that we've seen in the playoffs, and this was one that I was following during the regular season, where teams coming off of a shutout, we've had the over-cashing, cash at about 65% up until the Four Nations tournament. It kind of took a bit of a nosedive after, but here in the playoffs, we've had 4 games following a shutout that have all gone over the total. So don't worry about what happened the previous game. Look, I know this series we haven't had goals. It's been a real struggle. But I think Washington opens things up. Look, 3 of their 4 meetings in the regular season, we had 6, 6, and 9 goals. There was one game with 4. I understand the playoffs are different. I think Washington finds a way. I'm going to go with the trend that we do see more goals. Ovechkin's had 7 shots on goal in the last 2 games after having 1. So, look, I do like his shots on goal prop. And by the way, he only went twice during the regular season. He went 3 games without a goal. He never went 4 games without a goal. You get him at a good price tonight, plus 170, plus 180, depending on where you're shopping. So I think Alex gets on the board tonight.
Jonathan, do you ever get involved in this prop? Next goal or first goal will be on the power play. Have you ever played? I'm thinking about playing that with Washington tonight. And if they don't score, Paul, it's a refund on your bet. But I'm finding it hard-pressed for them to score 5-on-5 in Raleigh.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have struggled in Raleigh. There's no question. Their numbers haven't been good. Next goal props, yeah, I do. Not necessarily next goal on the power play. I haven't done that, for instance. But next goal props, I do like. And look, I think we're going to see a different Washington team. Spencer Carberry's been a very good coach the last 2 years in Washington. I think they find a way. Look, Carolina knows only one way to play, and that's just their relentless forechecking team. It's worked for 2 of the 3 games. Let's see where it goes. Look, remember, game 1, Washington led that game until late in the 3rd period before Carolina tied it in the late stages and then won it in overtime.
Yeah, but the shots were also like 35-14, though, too. I mean, it goes back to...
Yeah, no, they were. And it was a stinky goal that Freddie let in that day. I mean, I still got the better goalie on Washington. But I understand. It is a true hazmat play tonight, betting on the Capitals.
Ovechkin is minus 135 to have a point. He doesn't have a point in the series yet. Also, you think, can there be an early goal here? There hasn't been a first period goal in the whole series.
Yeah, look, I took the gift only because, again, following a shutout, we've had 3 of the 4 games we've seen a goal in the first 10. I think Washington comes out playing aggressive. Whatever they've done for 4 games hasn't worked. I thought they actually got off to a pretty good start in Game 3, and they couldn't find a way to beat Anderson. Credit him. Look, it's a little bit of hoping and praying on this one here, I have to admit. It's not a big play on Washington. It's not a big play on the gift. I'm going with the trends here, and that's simply why I'm going with Washington and a small play on the goal in the first inning.
Okay, and he's got 5 other props up there at vsin.com. Read his article and breakdown on that game. How about the late game? What do you think? How big of a difference is it with Skinner in?
Well, I mean, look, he's been 0-3 in the playoffs.
Yep.
They haven't been able to outscore his mistakes when he's been in net. They've been able to do it with Calvin Pickard, who won all 6 of his starts. And it's interesting, like with Pickard, the first 2 periods, his save percentage was under 900. Third period, he was over 900, and then overtime, perfect. Now, here's one thing with Edmonton, guys. They've won 7 straight Game 4s. Kind of like the Dallas Game 7s and their success. So, but look, I like the way that Vegas has played. I think they could have easily be up 2-1 as opposed to being down 2-1 in this series. Mark Stone playing tonight, definitely a help for them. I think they've been the better of the 2 teams. I think pretty much, outside of the first period of game 3, I think they've really been the better of the 2 teams the last 2 games. So I do like them as a puncher, have a puncher's chance. Now, I've been a little creative. First time I've ever done this. I like we're getting 6 goals in this game. I'm convinced.
Okay.
So I did play both teams on the money line and over 5.5 goals in separate parlays. They're both plus money. It's a small plus return. But for me, I think that's, I think I got a good shot at that one cashing in.
Did you play the first period at all in terms of the total, Jonathan? First goal and first 5 goal and first 10 or over 1.5 in the first period if you like there to be 6 or more goals?
Yeah, so I played over 1.5 in the first and parlayed that with over 5.5 for the game and got that at about minus 120, minus 125. Just because the minus 170 just was a little much for me. And like I said, I think we're getting 6 goals. I think the over 6.5 will cash as well. Like I just don't see either team, shutting the other one down. So I like the over 6.5 straight up, but over 1.5 and over 5.5 in a parlay.
How about Corey Perry again? Right back with him. He was, 30-1 to score the first goal the other day?
I think it was 30-1 or 25-1 and, scored 2 goals. Look, the old man is about to hit 40.
Yeah.
Hasn't stopped. As long as he's playing on the number 1 power play and getting time with Connor and Leon, I mean, at plus 270, I mean, it's gone down from over 3-1, but why not? Like, it's just too good a price to pass up for Perry. And the other one, from a point standpoint, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has had points in 7 straight games. He's got 6 assists. I like him for an assist tonight as well on the Edmonton side.
All right. And can you refresh everyone, remind people what you in studio 2 weeks ago, how available are blocked shots prop and how you like to play the block shots?
Yeah, I do. And so I love the block shots prop. It's, the books have gotten a little smarter on it. I do like Braden McNabb straight up for over 2.5 block shots. I think that's my favorite one. And then I put in a parlay, Jake Wallman, I think Darnell Nurse, and Zach Whitecloud of the Golden Knights. The 3 of them over 1.5 gets you a nice little return, small return, about 1 unit to get yourself a half unit. But those guys routinely had at least 2 shots blocked in a game, and thought that was a good way to approach it.
Okay. And one more. How about Wild Bill? Can he have a point at plus?
Wild Bill to get a point, yeah.
Plus money.
Look, what he did to set up the winning goal, I think he's been Vegas' best player in the series, and he's been on a heater himself. He's getting top power play time as well. So I do like I like Carlson here for a point. You're getting that at plus money. It's too good. As long as you're getting plus money on these guys that are routinely putting up points, why not grab them?
10 props are up for the late game, Edmonton and VGK. Read Jonathan Davis every day at vsin.com. Stay tuned. I got to run the Hellebuck by you up next. You've got incredible numbers on Hellebuck, and I want your thoughts on Toronto and Florida. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, or in cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, code FTM. Deposit $25, Edge Boost will match it. Get paid for what you love doing. Card never declined. Don't wait on that wire and the outrageous fees when you go over your limit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code FTM. Where are we, Michael? Top of the third. No score, one out. Only one hit in the game so far with Milwaukee and Cleveland. Hellebuck's issues on the road. Why is Dallas such a short favorite tomorrow? Why is the team total so low? And did Toronto blow their opportunity against Florida? More coming up with Jonathan Davis up next on VSiN Follow the Money, Sirius XM Channel 158.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.